The psychology of money, saving and spending habits. Most of the people make part of one of the following two categories. Maybe you are a saver and you feel satisfaction every time you look at your growing account balances and displeasure when you need to buy something. Or maybe you are a compulsive shopaholic looking at life as something to enjoy, so you buy on impulse and pay little attention to how you'll survive in the future. While many people believe that money handling habits come from parents or caregivers, current research is providing that our habits aren't just based on our money management lessons we learn as kids. There are spenders and savers in the same families. Kids who grew in the poverty and still develop great wealth, and others who blew the family fortune. Experts are revealing that brain chemistry plays an enormous role in your financial habits. Brain activity. In a study published in the Journal of Consumer Research, participants' brains were scanned as they pretended to make buying decisions. Researchers observed activity in an area of the brain called the insula, which is stimulated when you experience something unpleasant. The more stimulation in the insula, the less likely you are to keep doing what you're doing. When it comes to money, insula stimulation can stop you spending. On the other hand, the act of saving, either by having cash in a bank account or by experiencing a significant saving on a product or service, brings savers intense pleasure. The victory of a good bargain makes everyone feel good, but savers feel the rush even more since it's a relief from the discomfort of needing to spend. Meir Stateman, a behavior economist at Santa Clara University, uses this analogy. If you go to eat at a restaurant that typically charges $70 for a plate and you get your meal for only $7, it will taste better to you. But if you ate at the same restaurant without knowing the cost, you wouldn't enjoy your food as much. Knowing the total amount saved gives savers intense pleasure. Researchers concluded that people who have more insular activity in their brain are more likely to be savers, and those with less activity tend to be spenders. Therefore, spenders can end up in a financial trouble later in life, and savers can end up with great regrets. Recognizing which one you are can help you reach a healthier balance. Also, if you've seen this video so far, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out our latest uploads. The spenders. In an early experiment on children, commonly called the marshmallow experiment of the 60s, researchers at Stanford presented nursery school children with a tray of goodies that contained pretzels, marshmallow, and cookies. Researchers told the kids to select one treat and that if they ate it immediately they wouldn't receive any more, but if they waited only a few minutes they would receive another one. If they could delay their gratification for a few moments, they could double their candies. Researchers observed the behavior of the children until they were adults and learned that the ones who were able to delay their gratification achieved much more success in life than the ones who wanted instant gratification. If you're a spender, you can delay the gratification. With cash in front of you, just like the marshmallow, you cannot resist to have it right now, even if you have much more later. That's why you don't have much savings in the bank, but that's not a problem for you. You have been happy making purchases and enjoying them in the moment. But if you realize that you are trending towards extreme spending, then you're probably looking to change your habit. These 7 ways to calm your impulses will help you cut back on spending. 1. Never use credit cards or other lines of credit. By using cash, you force yourself to consider just how much you're spending. 2. Withdraw cash from the ATM yourself so you can see the remaining balance. 3. Pay as you go. Don't pay everything up front for a romantic weekend getaway. Pay for everything as it comes and you'll better understand how all that money just gets away from you. 4. Be vocal about your saving goals. If you tell close friends and family how much you intend to save and by what date, they will hold you accountable. 5. Reward yourself when you meet your saving goals, but only by spending a responsible percentage of what you save. 6. Stop and ask yourself before each and every purchase whether or not you truly need to purchase the item. Know the difference between needs and wants. 7. Look at the future no matter how uncomfortable it is. Ask yourself questions like how much money you'll need to retire or how you'll pay for your child's college education. The savers. In another famous experiment, adults had the choice of receiving $50 immediately or waiting a year and receiving $100. Most participants surprised researchers by taking the $50. The instant gratification appeared more valuable than doubling the earnings after a delay. Savers are the rare ones who sacrifice plenty of gratification to make sure to get more when it's available. Sometimes you'll go without things that you really need, like good medical care throughout a health insurance policy or a warm coat, because money in bank is more satisfying than anything you could ever buy. While many people take pleasure in buying things, savers don't feel that same way. Instead, savers feel uncomfortable with shopping and feel real emotional pain when are paying for something. Researchers explain that two primary motivations drive savers: pain and pleasure. And if you're not experiencing enough pleasure, you deserve to enjoy spending just a bit from time to time. These 4 ways will help you to take better decisions. 1. When it's time for something that brings you pleasure or joy, like a vacation, distance yourself by paying with a credit card. You're already set your budget and you have the cash to cover it, so now you can take your mind off the expense and relax. Second, be vocal about your spending goals. When you're planning to make an exciting purchase, even if it sounds like a boring necessity, tell everyone you know and set a date to close the deal. Third, treat your purchases as a reward for something that you've done well, so they will take on more value in your mind. Fourth, think of your future. Do you really want to have regrets over the things you didn't do because you wouldn't spend some money on enjoyment? What about you? Are you a spender or a saver? Let us know in the comment below.